Hello, my name is Casper Chiu and I'm from Group E EzMan from Mechanical Engineering Group 1. So today I will talk about the introduction for our project, which is we interviewed HLA Associates. So a little bit about the company history is that HLA Associates is the first establishment of HLA groups of companies, which began its operations in 1993. As of this year, HLA Associates will be in this industry for 27 years with 150 completed projects and 35 ongoing projects at a 100% satisfaction index. Next, I will talk about a little bit about the company background. Over the years, HLA Associates has grown into a group of several companies that provide various services, prominently in the field of engineering consultancy services, mainly civil, structural, mechanical, and electrical engineering, as well as project management consultancy services. With a staff strength of about 100 members, including site staff, HLA works with its clients to identify and deal with the intricacies of projects undertaken. HLA also provides all the necessary consultancy services and assistance to ensure that projects are of high quality, result at minimum cost, and within the determined period of completion. Moving on, the company mission is to provide good support services which contribute to the success of their business and to gain customer satisfaction, hence the 100% satisfaction index. As for the vision, HLA Associates strive to become an engineering consultant synonym with innovation and trustworthy. That is all for our company introduction. So we want to talk about the objectives of our interview, which include to understand how external environment can affect the direction of a company, to relate decision-making process with our lectures and assignments, to further understand how a company deals with employee performance issues, and lastly, to see the effects of change and innovation on a company.
Hi, my name is John Zihong. I will talk about external environment. External environment is composed of all the outside factors or influence that impact the operation of business. The term external environment refers to factors, forces, in situations, and events outside the organization that affect its performance. There are two perspectives on management. The omnipotent view of management states that managers are directly responsible for an organization's success or failure, while the symbolic view of management suggests that much of an organization's business or failure is due to external forces which outside the manager's control. External environment includes six components: political or legal, demographics, economics, socio-cultural, technological, and global. In HLA company, its main business in engineering consultancy is high dependent on industrial and business development, so the economics is highly affected the company compared to the other factors. As external environmental conditions change, managers face the impact of the changes on environment uncertainty. If less industrial and business develop in the country, there will be less requirement for engineering infrastructures development. Organizational culture has been described as shared values, principles, traditions, and way of doing things that influence the way organization members act. Culture is perceived, descriptive, and shared. Culture cannot be physically touched or seen, but employees perceive it on what they experience within the organization. It is concerned with how members perceive or describe the culture, even though individuals have different backgrounds or work at different organizational levels. They tend to describe the organization's culture in similar terms. Culture reflects the vision or mission of founders by projecting an image of the organization and its value. Employees commonly learn an organization's culture through its story, rituals, material symbols, and language. As for HLA company, they emphasize integrity and punctuality. Reward is also given based on the performance of the staff. Positive behaviors become a custom of our organizations, makes the company better, and award motivate the staff to improve themselves every day. Organizational culture affects employees' behavior and managers' planning and control. The more employees accept the organization's key values, the greater they commit to those values, the stronger the culture is. A strong culture can substitute for formal rules and regulations and create predictability, ordinance, and consistency. In HLA company, strong culture is important because it sets the direction for the staff where to adhere in the job and the sustainability of company. Although the cultures are rarely explicit, but they did reflect how the staff working. In conclusion, external environment that affect HLA company most is economic. In terms of that, managers are putting more attention on it. Based on the information given by manager HLA company, the organization culture in the company is optimistic and it does motivate the staff in their job.
I'm Wei Hao, and I'm going to talk about the decision making in HLA Association Sdn Bhd. The common decision that managers in HLA Association Sdn Bhd have to make is to choose which project the company has to accept and undertake. And from our analysis, we can definitely say that the company utilizes the 8-step decision making process in making their decision. According to Mr. Lim from HI Association, the common mistake to avoid in making decision is rushing to make a decision without considering all the factors. This mistake is a symptom of several decision-making errors, such as confirmation bias, selective perception, and anchoring effect. To prevent this mistake, managers are advised to take their time before taking a decision so that they can calmly think about it and collect more information. Next, I wish to talk about the decision making style in the company. In the company, managers normally make their decision in the ready, aim, fire approach. This is because the company targets a relatively stable market, so it allows more time for the managers to collect information before making their final decision. In this type of environment, rationality style or bounded rationality style is more suitable for the company rather than intuitive style. Also, the company prefers group decision making. This is because it gives a more complete perspective of the pros and cons of the decision. However, to prevent the problem of ambiguous responsibility in group decision-making process, an individual decision maker is selected to make the final decision after the end of the group discussion. However, this may cause a problem of minority domination. In conclusion, managers in HLA associations in Remahard shows indication of using 8-step decision-making process, tries to avoid several decision-making errors, have a rational or bounded rationality approach, and prefers a decision-making process that combines group decision-making and individual decision-making process.
My name is Chu Ming. I'm going to talk about strategy planning and process. Planning is a primary management function. Planning is deciding on the organization objective or goals. It can be formal or informal. So, a company like HLA Association is a big engineering company and is considered a big company. So, it's often used a formal planning which is written down and is have to meet a specific time and period. So, the manager develop a specific plan that clear define that what the organization will do to move from where it is to where it want to be. There are four reasons for planning, which is provide direction, reduce the impact of change, minimize waste or redundancy, and set the standard to facilitate control. For example, HRA associate always have their planning written down with specific quotation which describe the maximum money and time to proceed with the plan and when to stop when the plan is not going on the right track. It's a good example because it clearly fulfill the main purpose of planning, which is minimize waste and reduce the impact on change. Planning also reduce uncertainty and wasteful activity because the organization member already have general idea about what might happen when they perform the task or project. In order to reduce overlapping and wasteful activities, planning is very important because it makes sure the maximum output of the manpower available. A good planning will maximize the potential of an employee to make sure the right person for the most suitable task. Strategy of management is important to have a positive impact on organization performance. Prepare manager to cope with the change of situation and guide manager to examine relevant factor in planning future action. For engineering company which face many challenges in the market every day, such as HLA associate, their strategy is based on the cost monitoring plan, adopt quality system in accordance with SSO 9001 2015, and continuous talent development. Cost monitoring plan is where they monitor the amount of money they need to spend to complete the project and how much the profit they can get. If the profit is too low, they will give out the plan and make a new one. They will change the plan when the cost suddenly become high due to external factor. Quality system is where they maintain the quality of their product or work to make sure that they are trusted company by the client. In engineering field, the clients always go for the company which produce the best quality with the lowest price. By knowing this quality system is extremely important for the company to compete in the market. Continuous talent means that they always implement new technology and giving the training to the organization member to make sure they update themselves with all the latest information about technology and in order to compare with the competitor. Next, I'm going to talk about managing change and innovation. Change and innovation can be divided into three categories, which is change in structure, change in technology, and change in people. External factor and internal factor in a company is the reason for a company to make a change. External force refer to change in marketplace, government laws, and regulation. Internal force is meant by change in company strategy, composition of workforce, and employee attitude. For example, in the engineering field, every year there will be new technology implemented in the industry. A company without latest technology cannot sustain in the market because it will be very difficult and costly to produce high-end product if they still using the old technology. On the other hand, employee attitude is always changing due to different generation of the employee. This is because the culture is keep on changing from generation to generation. The traditional mindset might not be able to compete in the modern world, and this is the change agent that uh, trigger the change in the company strategy. Innovation is also very important for HLA associate because innovation will get them extra credit when they presenting their service to the client and it might translate to a new business if the is proven efficient. Innovation which can bring benefit to the company always will implement because it's able to make the company stand out among the competitor. Creativity and innovation spirit is always emphasized in the HRA associate and it will be scrutinized by the senior engineer to ensure it is working before the concept is adopted. A new idea might be good or bad. It is hard to determine until we try it once. When the concept of innovation is proven company will test the idea. If the idea is working and the innovation will be adopted, the risk of implementing innovation must be controlled within the affordable loss of the company. This also reflected that the strategy planning is important when it comes to managing change and innovation. Most of the company in Malaysia is trying to avoid the risk. So when it comes to implement change in the company, the all change shall be approved by a board of director and will be issued to the staff in a written form before they can implement the change. As we described earlier, this is a strategy to minimize the loss of the company. Where the affordable loss is calculated within the management team of the company. This also makes sure that the company will not expose themselves in a big risk we might due to losing the marketplace. In the growing world of technology, resistance to change is harmful to the business of a company because they might lost their market. Client is always attracted to the latest technology, especially in the engineering field. This is because the new technology will guarantee the company quality of the product and service. For example, HRA Associate will change to adapt to every changing landscape in the competitive environment because resistance to change might cause the company defeated by competitor and eliminated from the marketplace. In order to maintain sustainability of the company, they must reduce the resistance to change. A good innovation might be a better way of doing things and improve the efficiency and effectiveness.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I'll be talking about managing human resources. From the interview that we made with HLA Associates in Berhad, we managed to take a deeper view of the quality of an organization employed by identification and selection of employees with up-to-date skills, knowledge, and abilities, the strategies for retaining competent, high-performing employees, and complementary issues in managing human resource. Based on the information that we received from HLA Associate Executive Mr. Lim, he explained on addressing the first three activities in the HRM process, which is the employment planning, recruitment and downsizing of employees, and selection of employees. The employment planning process is to guarantee that they have the right number and kinds of people in the right place at the right time. After that, recruiting and downsizing of new employee in an organization can be made with several processes. Recruitment drives are commonly open when managers are aware of the current staffing levels, the process of locating, identifying what will be open for applicants through several sources, which are from the internet, employee referrals, and company websites. In contrast, downsizing and restructuring activities will be done if employment planning indicates a surplus, so managers may want to reduce labor supply. The strategy for downsizing are to meet the demands of a dynamic environment, while options can include firing or layoff. Other restructuring choices may be more beneficial to the organization. The selection activity is to reduce the probability of making reject errors and accept errors while increasing the probability of making correct decision by using reliable and valid selection procedures. From the interview, the main concerns of selecting employees are based on their academic qualification for fresh graduate and their attitude. Mr. Lim has also explained that attitude is more important than possessing skills for a job as skills can be taught in orientations and training while attitudes are rooted in one's principle. Managers from HLA Associates readily agree that keeping the best employees ensure customer satisfaction, increase cash flow, and effective succession planning. Retention of employee matters. Employee retention is a critical issue as companies compete for talent in a tight economy. Mr. Lim clarified that performance management system established performance standards that are used to evaluate employee performance. Three most popular forms of multi-person evaluation as a relative measuring device are group order ranking, individual ranking, and paired comparison. Although it is not absolute, it is a way to compare one person's performance with that of one or more individuals. According to Mr. Lim, the company retains high performance by giving them better financial reward position and promotion. The method used to retain high performers will make the staff members feel more appreciated as it will raise their motivation to work better in the company. Underperforming employees can exist in any company worldwide, and so does HLA Associates Company. The managers in the company have to deal with them regardless of their race and reputations. According to Mr. Lim, they manage a situation where the performance of an employee drops by discussing with the staff and find what the company could do to improve the staff's performance. It is advisable to deal with underperformance as soon as possible as it sets a bad precedent for both that individual as well as the rest of the team in the company. The performance of an employee might not be up to par mainly because of job mismatch, so it is best to reassign the staff to a better matched job. Next, employee might not be well trained in the company, so adequate training should be provided to see an increase in performance of the staff. Lastly, an employee might display a disciplinary problem in the company, which is a very serious case. The employee showing this behavior should be given a counseling to overcome performance related problem. It is vital for managers to learn to deal with an underperforming employee in effective ways, and it will be beneficial for the individual and to the team. In conclusion, human resource management in HLA Associates Sindrian Berhad employs employee by identification and selection of competent employees with up-to-date skills, knowledge and abilities, uses planned strategies for retaining competent, high-performing employees and control the contemporary issues in managing human resources.
To conclude, me and my group mates would like to bring this message to say that organizations constantly encounter forces driving them to change because change means doing something new and unknown, and the natural reaction is to resist change. To overcome this resistance, managers have to conduct an extension program and adopt innovative and efficient management techniques to remain high performance of staffs. The principles of management are universally applicable, as our interview results show. These are flexible and not absolute. The contemporary theories of management assist managers in effectively carrying out their jobs, keeping in mind that the emerging trends and the factors of uncertainty. Taking everything into account, this project was a complete success as it helps us as students to understand more to the fundamentals of management practices in real-life organizational settings. We are glad that Dr. Amjad has given us this chance to be able to interview HLA associates and give this wonderful presentation. Thank you for listening and goodbye.